Welcome to Unlimited Power. My name is D-Rod, and we are back with some play testing. It's been a while, but with Set 4 being released, Jump to Lightspeed, I'm excited to get back in it. We have different qualifiers coming up with sectors and regionals now. We have planetary qualifiers in a few months as well. Everything before Set 5 and the Galactic Championships. So play testing is now even more important, and there are so many more leaders now with over 100 combinations of leader and colors. So yeah, there's a lot to do. I definitely have some ideas and some decks that I want to really focus on, but as always this stream we're going to take something that I think is fun and start playing it. So we're actually going to be testing against Django today. I got my buddy Jay on the other end of this. He's running some Django Tarkin Town. I'll be running some Thrawn Kestro City, and we're just going to go ahead and roll to see who goes first. All right, Jay, let's go ahead and roll here. I like your dice. I got a 7. You got an 8 or 9. Sounds good. All right, so he's going to take the initiative. We're going to get one more shuffle in here. Do a quick cut. Visible for him. And let's draw some cards. So deck list is in the description down below. It is Thrawn red. There's a lot of stuff here I can do. Mostly we're playing Thrawn's when defeated ability. So if you're unfamiliar with this, Thrawn's ability says when the unit I control is defeated, if it has a when defeated ability, I may exhaust Thrawn to trigger the ability again. This is really nice. There's definitely some great cards in there that we're going to use to make that work. And really a lot of things that are important here are your third turn. So what do I have in my hand? I have Droid Missile Platform that when it dies deals 3 indirect damage. One of the new things brought to us in Jump to Lightspeed. Planetary Bombardment that says it'll deal 8 indirect damage or 12 if I have a capital ship. Definitely have some capital ships. Chimera that will trigger a when defeated ability when it's played, as well as can spawn some tokens when it dies. Val is also a character that has bounty. She dies and I can put 2 experience counters on a unit when she's defeated, but my opponent does get to deal 3 damage to another unit I control. That is the bounty portion, so I can put the counters twice and only have to take 3 damage once. So I'm actually going to keep this hand here. We're going to drop... No, I'm going to get rid of this hand because I want more options. So let's mulligan. I'm going to mulligan real quick. Really, what I want to see is a good 2-drop, a solid 3-drop, and have some options here. Django's obviously going to be working to ping one of my units using his abilities to tap them down. Luckily, a lot of my units have low health, and when they die, I can get some type of benefit. So Django pinging them kind of works a little bit in my favor, but it doesn't mean he's not still a threat. The turn that he comes out, which is going to be turn 4, is a big turn for Django where he can really control the board because he'll be able to tap down as many units as possible. So, but before he's deployed, he can only do it once. So let's go ahead and do a quick cut. See what we get here. 1 Chimera, Val, Onyx Squadron Brute. When it dies, I heal 2. Devastator, when it comes into play, this is the new Devastator. When it comes into play, I assign 4 indirect damage, but also it allows me to now assign indirect damage how I choose. Ruthless Raider, which is a classic. When it dies, deal 2 damage to a base and a unit. And Heavy, when it dies, deal 1 damage to each unit there. So I'm going to drop the Heavy and I'm going to drop the Devastator because those are my biggest cards here. Going to 2 resources. I'm good to go. It's going to be a little bit of a slow match. Not my best opening hand, but we're going to try it out. All right, I'm ready, Jay. Let's get it started. One cost for Greedo with 3/1. When it dies, deal 2 damage to a unit. Okay. Let's go ahead. I'm going to pay 2 for the Onyx Squadron Brute. When it dies, I can heal 2 damage from my base. All right, I'll pass. He takes the initiative. I'm going to draw some cards. I draw Shoot Down and Recoil Gunship. Shoot Down is a great new event. It allows you to do 3 damage to a space unit. And if you do defeat a space unit, you can deal 2 damage to any base. So I can kill one of my own units and deal 2 damage to my opponent's base and trigger some when defeated effects. So not bad here. The Gunship, when it dies, deals 1 damage to the base, and it's a 2-drop. The gunship is more than likely what I'm going to want to play. I'm going to go ahead and drop the Chimera. And we're going to keep going. Micah, I know it has been a while. I had to step away for a little bit, and it just looks like you have 2. Haven't played anything since Set 2 pre-release. Dang. Yeah, it's a whole new game now. Whole new game, Micah. Greedo's going to swing on me. I'm going to take 3 points of damage there. Let's go ahead and get some damage back just in case. I'm going to swing for 2 on your base. Get 2 on Tarkin Town. There we go. Put it on this Django. Micah, are you liking the new jump to lightspeed cards? Because I think it's just really awesome to see this within the 4th set of the game. We're in 2 more sets until we see a full premiere sets to play with. So when you have 6 sets to play with, but having 4 feels nice. Oof. Oh man, life becomes rough. About to send my oldest off to college. Yep, life. Oh man. And your first one, the oldest out. Wow. All right, so opponent takes the initiative here. Yeah, I understand, Micah. Harder to buy stuff, especially right now. A lot to plan for, but the cards are great. Let's show you a few of them. So Thrawn's out here. What do I want to do? He only has that. Let's put out another flyer. I'll put a pay 2 for the Recoy gunship. When it dies, I deal 1 damage to a base or a unit. And then I'm going to go ahead and pass. All right, so we drew another Chimera and a planetary bombardment. Ooh, I would really love to see one of the new cards, Director Krennic, who lowers when defeated cards, because this is the right time to play him when you have 4 resources. If you play Krennic on this turn, you're guaranteed, or not guaranteed, but you have a better chance of playing Chimera or Ruthless Raiders 1 turn early, which is really good. Allowing you to play this other new card, Planetary Bombardment, which says if you control a capital ship, deal 12 indirect damage to your opponent, which is my plan. So I'm going to go ahead and drop Chimera. Man, we're so close, though. Yeah, I'm going to drop... Nope, I'll drop the Bombardment, because I'll probably play Chimera before I play the Bombardment. This Thrawn does seem better. It is true, Micah. I'm all about this Thrawn. All right, we're ready to go. Untapped. I'm going to probably take this hit from Greedo. Yeah. Let's swing for 2 with the gunship on your base. Need him. I'm probably gonna have to kill my own Onyx Squadron Brute, which is okay. Ooh. Dang. So this is a great 4-drop that came out in Jump to Lightspeed. The IG 2000 deals 1 damage to up to 3 units. Really great. So he's going to deal damage to both my units, killing one of them and tapping down the other using Django's ability. I'll go ahead and... So when this dies, we're going to deal 1 damage to IG 2000 because I can choose unit or base. Then I will... use Admiral Thrawn's ability to do it 1 more damage to Greedo to kill him. Okay. So next time I think Greedo only hits a ground unit when he does it for his ability. So you don't always have to flip the discard there. So okay. Then it's my turn. I'm going to play Shoot Down for 2. I'm going to deal 3 damage to IG 2000, and because I defeat it, I'll deal 2 damage to your base. That's correct, 2 damage. All right, so Shoot Down really worked in my favor there. I was able to take care of him. Now, the best thing for Django to do, even he takes the initiative, but what he should have done was Tarkin Town on the Onyx Squadron Brute. That way I could only heal once. I'm gonna go ahead and pay 2 for Val. When she dies, I can put 2 experience counters on a unit I control, but she also has a bounty. When you defeat her, you can deal 3 damage to a unit. And I'm gonna go ahead and pass. All right, I just drew 2 Krennics. I'm definitely going to have to put one out. We are now at 5 resources. This is the turn that Django comes out. So we're going to see how we're doing this. How do you damage the base when you kill his unit? Oh, I do that with Shoot Down, Micah. So Shoot Down is one of the new cards, 2-cost event. You deal 3 damage to a space unit. If you defeat that unit, deal 2 damage to a base. So I can always kill my own unit if I need to, like the Onyx Squadron Brute, or I can defeat one of his. Since I was able to ping his unit for 1 with its 4 health, I could do the remaining 3 damage and get the Shoot Down to effect there. Love Shoot Down. I feel like Shoot Down's one of those cards that is going to be kind of a staple event if you play red, and then it's a card you sideboard out if they're not going, you know, pretty heavy into... if they're not going too heavy into ships. So he plays the... I already forgot what this card is. Patrolcraft? Patrol something. Forgot. Separatist ship. That is a 3-cost. It's a 1/2. When it comes into play, it can deal 1 damage to a unit, and when it dies, you can deal 1 damage to a unit. So pretty cool. All right, let's go ahead and... I'm not going to probably trigger that as much as I want to. Yeah, I'll swing on your base for 2. All right, let's just get the damage here. I'm really trying to hold on to Krennic for a little bit longer. I want him to use his Tarkin Town. Okay. All right, well, either way, I'm going to be at 6, so let's go ahead and try to lure him out. I'm going to play Director Krennic. He comes into play with a shield, and he lowers the first card I play that has a win defeated ability by 1. Right, so Krennic is out. Thrawn comes out next turn. And we're going to take 3 damage from Django. I'm at 9. I'm going to go ahead and take the initiative. There we go. It's probably good if I, you know, put this stuff out. We got Django out already. All right, so we have Chimera and Ruthless Raiders. We just drew Shoot Down and No Glory Only Results. So No Glory Only Results is a great little event here. I like holding on to it against a Django because what it does is you pay 5, you take control of your opponent's unit. It just has to be a non-leader unit, and then you defeat it. So you can defeat it yourself. And you can trigger its when defeated effects if it has any, but this really dances around a lot of interesting cards. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of a Shoot Down, and I'm going to keep the high-end cards right now. We have Krennic, we have Val, we need a heal, so we're going to play Chimera, I think, and get some double heals here. All right, so I'm going to pay 5 for Chimera. When this card comes into play, I can trigger a win defeated ability. So I'm going to trigger it on the Onyx Squadron Brute that says heal 2. And then I'm going to trigger Grand Admiral Thrawn so I can heal a total of 4. So I'll go back from 9 down to 5. All right, so a lot of stuff there. I just essentially made sure I'm a little safe here. Oh, here comes the War Juggernaut. Not what I want to see. So War Juggernaut comes into play. It deals 1 damage to as many units as he chooses. So 1 shield removes 1. And all right, you're killing this, and then I'll heal 2 from him, so he'll go down to 3. And then you're exhausting everything that takes the damage. Okay. Ooh. All right, so Krennic is still in here a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and deploy Grand Admiral Thrawn. He's a 4/7. We got Krennic and Thrawn. He still has Django. which we can swing into Django and at least slow this down. 3, 2. Oh, I thought it was like a 1, 2. All right, back at 6. I really want Val to die so we can keep Krennic in a little bit longer here. I'll swing into your Django for 4 and take 3 back. Okay, he swings into Krennic itself. They trade. Not what I would have done, but that's all right. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take the initiative. Let's make sure this stuff is set up correctly. Still getting used to the hang of everything, but man, or getting back into it all, but I am always enjoying playing Star Wars. Let's draw 2 more cards. We got Val again and Ruthless Raiders. The only card higher than 6 in our deck is Devastator. We don't need this second Val, so let's go ahead. Well, we could probably play it. It's tough. Wow. We are only going to play 1 card this turn. Yep, and it's probably going to be Val and No Glory, or what was it? No Glory, yeah, No Glory, only results. So we're gonna go with that. Let's untap Grand Admiral Thrawn, Chimera, and Val here. We're going first. We need to take care of his big guy because it gets pretty strong. It gets +1 for raid, for everything on it, for all damage on the board. I'm going to pay 5 for No Glory only results. I'm going to take control of your War Juggernaut, and then I immediately defeat it. Let's get that removal going. Now, I'm okay with Val dying at this point, because Val can put more counters on... Oh, he hits the Chimera with it. But Val dying will at least trigger more stuff for Grand Admiral Thrawn. So I have a feeling he's not going to kill Val, but I can kill Val myself. So I'm going to hit your base for 2 with Val. Get him up to 10. And he has not used his base. Gets me to 9. Right, so let's show him this little trick. I'm gonna pay 2 for another Val. I'm gonna kill this Val that's in play. Yeah. So this one dies. When it dies, I can put 2 counters on something, and I'm gonna double that effect. So I'm gonna put 4 counters on Thrawn here. Just grab a +4, I guess. And then you get to resolve a bounty that deals 3 damage to any unit of your choice. Yeah, so 3 damage anywhere you want. Yeah. Yeah, so you've done 6 damage. He has 5 remaining. Yep. All right. Still his go. He has 4 left. He has some big guys, but I have a tough person for him to deal with. Here comes the First Order Trooper. One of the new cards in the set. Let's go ahead and swing. I'll swing for 8 on your base. Let's get him up to 18 there. Nice. We're so close. He's going to take the initiative, of course, and I'll pass. So I have Ruthless Raiders, Landing Shuttle. Landing Shuttle is another new card. It's a 3 cost that when it's defeated, I draw a card. It's a 2/4 unit, and I have No Glory only results again. So pretty decent. I could play 1 of these cards or 2 of these cards a turn if I decide to drop something. I don't know necessarily what I want to get rid of at the moment. So I think let's go with dropping the Ruthless Raiders. We're going to keep the landing shuttle and no glory only results because we'll probably defeat something of his this turn. Maybe that was a mistake, but we'll see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. Untap. We still have a Val. We got Grand Admiral Thrawn here, who's pretty strong. Let's see what he does. So we have a total of 17 points of damage on the board. We have to do... He's at 18, so we have to do 7 points. So Thrawn has to swing. He has to kill Thrawn right now. May have him in game 1. Okay. There it is. So he swings into the Chimera and uses Jango's ability to tap. Feet to tap Thrawn. Yep, that's exactly what he did. Smart move, smart move. What do I want then? Guess I'm going to go ahead and swing for 5. I'll swing for 5 into your base. Get him to 23. He has to stop Val. Val gets it there. But, all right. All right, I guess we'll go to game 2. So Val got it there at the end there. Definitely, I would love to see a couple of better cards. Maybe I could have made some better decisions with putting out the Ruthless Raiders with the amount of health I had. But that is one of the ideal turns I like to see. If I can get Val out the turn before Grand Admiral Thrawn comes, you can kind of secure Thrawn in play a little bit longer. There's not going to be a lot of removal for a leader like him, so putting the counters is good. You obviously have to watch out for things like Rival's Fall, but again, just making him a 6-9 with the counters, or making him even stronger, like an 8-11 is great. So I think it's one of my favorite things to do with Val is to use her at that turn. Not to say there aren't other ways of using her, or putting it maybe like on a space unit, depending on how the board goes. But I like Thrawn because he's harder to remove once he's in play. Now, Jango offers up a lot of problems because he's going to have a lot of tap options. But again, my units don't have that much health, so you have to be mindful about what you're killing when you're killing it. Let's run this back. Game 2. Game 2. Now, I've been playing a lot of Thrawn lately. There's a couple ways to run Blue-Red Thrawn. There's some people are trying it with Exploit, and although I really enjoyed the Exploit mechanic, it really forces you into some weird situations. I was telling someone the other day, it's really hard because a lot of times you want to exploit to save yourself from something, and you may be taking out a unit that hasn't even activated yet, kind of losing a little bit. And if you're playing something like the Droideka with Sentinel, you find yourself sacking a unit, playing the Droideka getting hit, and so you did no damage that turn and lost 2 units. There's just stuff like that that's it's on paper it feels like it's going to be fun, but when you get into the game, it's always a little bit harder. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not going in the exploit build in these colors. I think it's just a little bit more finding tempo, making sure every turn something good is happening that just kind of puts you in a good position. So at this point, I don't have Krennic, and I always want to try to see Krennic or have a good opening hand. There's a 00M series officer. When it dies, deal 2 damage to a base with 1 health, so that's pretty good. I can be a little bit aggressive there. Droid missile platform, when it dies, I deal 3 indirect damage, and it has 2 health. So I really like that. So let's go ahead and drop Planetary Bombardment. It costs 6. Not going to be doing that, and we will drop no glory only results, and we'll hope to be a little bit more aggressive this time with the draw mechanic. All right, I'm ready. I also really enjoy Kestro City. I feel like you got to go with the 3 there. All right, he's going to play Greedo. That's fine. We have a unit. I'm going to play 00M Series Officer. When this unit dies, it deals 2 damage to a base. Keep this here. All right, he takes the initiative. I'll pass. Draw 2 more cards. Planetary Bombardment and a heavy. Against a deck like his, I'm probably not going to need heavy. He's not going to have that many units that have that low health. I only have 1 heavy in the main board to help a little bit with some early aggro. He's not bad at the 4 slot, but really not my favorite. But in the aggro matchups, it's kind of the only option you have of spreading a lot of damage if your opponent's going wide in the ground arena, which is usually that's more likely than them going wide in space. Obviously, if they're playing Vader, it's a lot more ties, but not too worried about ties. All right, let's see what he does. So he's going to pay 2. Spacer comes out, sees another yellow unit, allowing him to defeat himself. Pretty good, pretty good. I guess I'll go ahead and play the draw card. Yeah. Let's play the draw card, or do we play? Let's play the platform. We'll play the droid missile platform. It's a 4/2. When it dies, I deal 3 indirect damage to an opponent. So indirect, for those of you who are unaware, allows when you're dealing indirect damage, your opponent chooses where it goes. It either goes to a base or goes to a unit. It's also unpreventable. That means it cannot be blocked by a shield or any other cards that say prevent damage. I'm going to go ahead and take the initiative. And I really love indirect in other Star Wars games because it forces your opponent to make the decisions themselves, and they may not always make the right one. Ooh, kills my platform. Okay. So this dies. I'm going to make you distribute 6 indirect damage as you see fit. All right, 4 on Tarkin Town. 6 there. Okay. All right, that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage from losing 1 unit on the second turn. I'll take it. We drew a Daring Raid and another missile platform. I'm going to drop my secondary planetary bombardment there. Not going to get that. That's okay, because Jango's a little aggressive, and you got to play for the turn. So we got the 00M officer. We can do some damage there. We have some options here. I think let's do some damage. I'm going to swing into Greedo with the officer. And then I'm going to double trigger the ability to deal 4 damage to your base. All right, let's actually put some damage, make that a little bit more visible there. 8 total. That gets me to 5. Nice. All right, let's go. Pay 3 for another platform, a 4/2 platform. And again, why I like this deck against Shengo is there's a lot of low health units that work in my favor if he wants to keep pinging. Oof, at the shield. Okay, okay. Interesting, interesting. I'm gonna pay 1 for Daring Raid to deal 2 damage to your base to get you to 10. All right, initiative goes back to him. I get to be a little bit more aggressive, which is great. I'll go ahead and pass. All right, we got another shoot down and an Onyx Squadron Brute. The Onyx Squadron Brute will heal us. Shoot down is going to feel a little good right now. Do I want to drop the Brute or the shuttle? Let's put down the shoot, or the Brute. Sorry, we're gonna keep the shuttle, so we can play 1 shoot down, 1 shuttle this turn, and hopefully draw next turn, and we'll do a bit of damage with the platform. Oof. So he plays the ISB agent, shows me surprise strike to deal 1 damage and use Django's ability. That's nice, but I have options as well, sir. What are those options going to be? Let's go. I can defeat the cartel thing now just to get the damage on it. Let's do that. I'll pay 2 for shoot down. And I will deal 3 damage to your unit and 2 damage to your base. 3 damage to the cartel spacer. All right, so that's going to get him to 12. With the droid missile platform still on the board, I can still kill my own platform if necessary. If I do, that's 6 damage. He can only take 5 across his units right now. But I'd rather play a little bit ahead. So let's pay 3 for the landing shuttle. This way I can draw a card if it dies. And I'm about to get hit with Django, but I'll be going first. I'll take the initiative. Right. All right, takes me from 8 to 11. 3, 4, 5. Yep, that's what it was. I had to find the 1 card I set down. Got to keep this token marker with me. My commander comes out at 6, so next turn. Now he still has Tarkin Town, but Tarkin Town's a hard one to use. Let's go ahead and move my discard pile there. Draw 2 cards, another Daring Raid, and a 00M officer. We're going to put the officer down. Pretty much just left with 2 damage events with 2 units here, but one of these units draws me a card. So I'll take that. And also I go first, which is nice. Let's see here. I'm definitely going to need to draw 2 cards. The shuttle can't kill the defender, unfortunately, because of that shield, and it has too much health. But we can definitely spread some damage if we're going to do it. Yeah, maybe I'll just go for 4. I'm going to swing for 4 into your base. We're going to get them up to 16. Because I can kill my own platform. Get them to 18. 18, I mean, that's pretty good when I'm sitting on a shoot down, because that means I can get them to 20 this turn. And I have Daring Raid, so as long as Thrawn can get through, we're good. Ooh, hitting my base for 6 with Surprise Strike on Django. That'd take me up to 18. Or 17, sorry. Change that. Let's do 2 to base. Now he's at 18. Alright, so he's going to take me at 20, but I have 30 health, he has 25, so. Okay. Next play, let's go. I'm going to pay 2 for a shoot down. I'm going to deal 3 damage to my unit and deal 2 damage to your base. And then I'm going to trigger the When Defeated ability to deal 6 indirect damage as you see fit. So we get him to 20, and he still has to distribute 6 damage. All right, so he does that. I'm still just need to waste some time. I'm going to pay 1 for a Daring Raid to deal 2 damage to your base. And that's what I love. Like it's tempo, so it can kind of be a little bit aggressive, but it's finding the right balance of like when it needs to like stop itself. So now we're going to see if I have a chance here. All right, I'm going to deploy Grand Admiral Thrawn. We'll see if he has an answer. I have no cards in hand. All right, but I still got it. So he Daring Raids it. I take 2 points of damage. He exhausts me using Django's ability. All right, I'll take the initiative. Yep. Well, that's true. I was able to stay very aggressive. All right, you want to switch that Sabine deck, and we'll see how I do against the more aggressive deck. All right, so the next deck he's going to play is going to be Sabine Red. Very aggressive, very quick. I think it's always a good way when you're testing decks to test against something that's aggro, something that goes fast where you're playing something every turn, just to make sure you can survive the early threats. Like, do you have the right cards in there when you run up against aggressive players? Next, with testing, it's always good to try something a little bit more mid-range, something with tempo, something like Django. Something that essentially is consistently building upon itself and gets stronger and stronger as it goes, as opposed to an aggro deck that usually says, let's play a lot more low-cost units and go kind of swarm the board a little bit. Then you have control decks. Control decks are the ones that are going to play slower, usually playing 1 card a turn and trying to keep their opponent in check a little bit. So, all right, let's go ahead and make some switches here. But again, like I said, I've been really working on this Thrawn deck for a while, and I've really enjoyed it. There's still some work to go into it. There's still a lot more testing I'm doing. I'll be testing with some people going to Denver soon. Wanted to go Denver, but sometimes life just gets in the way, and yeah, and that's okay. But would have enjoyed it. There's still Minnesota. I will be going to Worlds in Vegas, and there's still a lot of planetary qualifiers. So as far as events for good testing, those are definitely plentiful the next few months. It's just making the right time. So we'll see. All right, we got to get rid of Django here. Django. There he is. Lock him out. Now let's change the base here on the screen. Don't remember which one it is. Oh, it's the nest. The nest. Well, you know what? He's just going to get a simple red base because I don't think I have the nest in here yet. Let's remove Tarkin Town. That's fine. Okay. All right, you want to roll to see who goes first? I got 10. All right. I will go first. I have the initiative myself, just because I'm just putting out units as well. Now, this is where it gets hard, for sure. Ooh, finally get to see these cards. Apparently drew 2 of them. Self-Destruct. Self-Destruct is a 2-cost event that you defeat one of your units and you deal 4 damage to your opponent's unit. Obviously, in a win-defeated deck, that sounds great. I also drew 2 Ruthless Raiders. I don't really want to put both of them on the bottom there. And I don't have a lot going for me, so we're going to have to mulligan. I'm going to mulligan. The losing 2 Raiders just feels hurtful. Sabine is fast. Sabine is really fast. The reason why I made Sabine a red rather than Sabine green to test against is, like I said, I just want to make sure I can survive those aggro matches. I think red is faster than green, but I think green usually can beat Sabine red. But it's either way, it's a lot of fun. I'll tell you this. This Sabine Red deck is a lot of fun, and we're going to see how we do. Without a sideboard in this. Now, sideboards, I've looked at a couple things. Bloodsport, Heavy, a couple of healing cards. I could go with some Sentinels, but either way, it can just go wide really quick. And you're about to see what happens here with Sabine. So let's see what I draw here. Ruthless Raiders, No Glory, Only Results, Daring Raid, Chimera, 00M Series Officer, and Onyx Squadron Brute. We're going to lose our 2 6-drops because we got to survive. Let's see what we can do here. All right. I will start off. I'm going to pay 2 for the Onyx Squadron Brute. When it dies, I heal 2 from my base. Love Onyx Squadron Brute. Love Onyx Squadron. So, if you're unfamiliar with Onyx Squadron, they were a great thing to read in the Aftermath books. No, sorry. They're not in the Aftermath books. They're in the Alphabet Squadron books, which is pretty good. So he's going to play Partisan Insurgent. I'm going to go ahead and take the initiative. And he'll ping us both for 1. So Partisan Insurgent, I really like. It is a 1/4, so it's hard to get through. And as long as it has another red unit, it gets raid +2. So that 1/4, that 4 health is so good. All right, we're going to drop Planetary Bombardment, and I drew Director Krennic. So I'm going to save Krennic until next turn. This turn, we can play the Officer and a raid. Now, I could play Krennic, Officer, and a raid, but we'll see. The reason why I'm hesitant with Krennic is because there's more ways he can... if I can set it up to where I can play a capital ship on my 5th turn, or my 4th turn, that sounds way better. Go ahead and hit your base for 2. But next turn can be deadly. Let's see what he puts out. If I see a Ketso, that's rough. All right, Green Squadron A-Wing. Okay. Now I'm a little bit more tempted. Let's try it. Let's tempt him out. Let's bait him. If he swings on Krennic with the Partisan Insurgent, that'd be pretty good. I'm going to play Director Krennic. Comes into play with the shield, and he's a 2/2 that lowers my first win defeated I play by 1. Right, hits my base for 3 using the raid ability. Nice. I will pay 1 for a 00M Officer with Krennic's ability of lowering the cost. Pings us both for 1. All right, I'll take the initiative then. And here comes Mr. Bones. A 3/1 that deals damage if he has no cards in his hand. Ugh, there is a Ruthless Raiders. I cannot play the Ruthless Raiders now. Krennic has to survive 1 more turn, and I can get that Raider out a turn early. That'd be great. Okay. What is my plan? What is my plan? I can kill Bones. May have to kill Bones. All of these units hit for 3. And this is what I'm talking about as far as Sabine Red. These are all strong units. I can't kill them because of like where their health is and the units I have. And that's what makes it hard in this early part of the game. I have to use 2 cards to deal with 1 of his, and that's bad. That's what you call like just a bad 2-for-1. Now, when he plays a card that kills 2 of my units, that's great. That's favor. Okay. I don't want to lose my shield yet. We can prevent 3 damage by killing Bones. All right. I'm going to swing into Mr. Bones with the Officer, so they'll both die. When my Officer dies, I'll do 2 damage to your base. And I'll go ahead and double the trigger and make it another 2 damage to your base. Let's update this so he's at 8. I'm there. 2 damage to your base with Krennic. We got Sabine out. Oh no. So Rallying Cry is going to give him raid 2 on all of his units. That's bad. That's bad. Yeah, +2. All right. I'll swing on the Green Squadron A-Wing for 2. I'll take 1 back. Yep. Consolidate, go to 10. I think that's what he would do, but it's the right move there. I'm going to take some hits. Let's pay... I'll pay 2 for the landing shuttle, since it costs 1 less because of Krennic. There's another 5. Gross. I'm going to pay 1 for Daring Raid to kill my own brute and heal myself by 2. Go to 13. And I'll go back to 18. Oh my gosh, so much damage. I'll take the initiative. Well, that's what I'm saying. There comes 2 tubes. It's a lot of damage. A lot of damage. That is so difficult. All right, we drew a Val and a Ruthless Raiders, so we're definitely going to play a second Ruthless Raiders this turn. Or not this turn, but try to play it. But we may be dead. It's tough. All right, those ground units are going to be a pain. I can kill 2 tubes, no problem. I'm going to have to because he buffs stuff up. Ooh, are you putting down a 5th resource or staying at 4? Man, that's the other thing. Sabine mono red can really just stay at 4. Doesn't have to go faster than that because you can already see how wide it is. Pretty good, pretty good. We have Partisan Insurgent, 2 tubes, Sabine, and the Green Squadron A-Wing. Jay, can you slide down your units just a little bit more to your right? There you go. Or towards your A-Wing. There you go. Yep, perfect. Thank you. I just need to see how many units are going to kill me. Let's pay 5. I'm going to pay 5 for Ruthless Raiders. When it comes into play, deal 2 damage to your base and 2 damage to a unit. Then you go ahead and deal 2 damage to your 2 tubes. All right, this is what's hard. It's harder to be aggressive with once he's out. All right, it's going to take 18 to 21. Gross. Gross, gross, gross. Not much more I can do. Landing shuttle into your A-Wing. That's 3 damage plus 3 damage. That's 6. 24. Let's go 2 into the Insurgent. I'll lose my shield. Three more is going to take me from 24 to 27. No, thank you. I am dead. This is about how it is against Sabine. Now, sideboard wise, I have some options. If we have some time, we'll try some stuff out. I'll take the initiative. Here comes another 2 tubes. Now, if he did go to 5, it would tell me he has Cassian Andor in his hand, but he did not. And there's the droid platform. All right. Passes. So Thrawn comes out this turn, but that doesn't matter. I have another Krennic. Let's go ahead and put him down. We are now at 6 resources. Everything, 2 things hit for more than 3, so we're not going to get through it here, unfortunately. Yep. Yeah, no matter what. All right, you got me, but I'm going to still play it out. I'll pay 5 for Ruthless Raiders to deal 2 damage to your Partisan Insurgent. and 2 to base. All right, that gets me to 30. All right, I guess we'll go to game 2. Right, yep, and that's what I'm talking about. It's so fast, but this is what I enjoy testing against. I definitely have some matches where I can survive this, and it really decides on what kind of deck are you going to have. Are you going to have a deck that can really handle a lot of stuff you're going to see at bigger tournaments, or do you have a deck where you're just got to hope you avoid things? Last season, I really needed to avoid a lot of Han Yellows whenever I was playing Boba Fett. I mean, not Boba Fett, Bosks. Han Yellows just had all the right answers, and I had to hopefully dodge it until I hit top 8 in some events. A lot of times that was fun. You know, sometimes you just walk into a qualifier and you just play 4 Hans. And it can always be my toughest matchup with that set, or with that deck at the time during that set. But in this one, trying to figure out what to do for Sabine is still tough. I have a couple options, but really it's asking, are these the right options? And like I said, right now they're kind of just heavies and blood sports. I know blood sports seems weird, but I think it's fun. Because the hard part about Sabine is she just keeps coming, and she can play 2 units a turn in a deck like that. And that's a lot of destructive power for sure. We're going to take out some cards here. We don't need Planetary Bombardment. We don't need No Glory Only Results. We're not going to get to those. We're going to put in 4 cards here. Let's just take out 2 and 2. Leave it at that. Switch these for these 4. We're going to see what happens. Oh, it would be 5. That's all right. 2 heavies. Okay. But again, Thrawn. So this is where Thrawn has a tough matchup. Now, he also has one in the hard control decks, but who doesn't? I've had some luck with him against blue-green. Just if it ramps too quick, obviously, you can be stuck in some rough situations. But I'm really enjoying it against a lot of yellow builds, especially villains, and I need to take a little bit more time in throwing up against some hero builds, but there's some fun stuff. No Glory Only Results is really cool when you can take Obi-Wan Kenobi, defeat it, and then put the counters on a unit you control instead. It's so satisfying. They pay 6 for the Obi-Wan with Sentinel. You take the initiative. Next turn, you play No Glory Only Results, and it's just like, cool, I'm going to keep swinging now. And I made my Thrawn stronger, and I could, get 4 counters instead of 2. So cool. Steal a Yoda if you want. Not my favorite, but one thing we can do for sure. All right, we're going to go first. We drew Bloodsport, Desperate, Commando, No Glory Only Results, Self-Destruct, and Heavy. Yes, I would like to go first. So I like what we have here. We're going to drop No Glory Only Results. Heavy, when it dies, again, will deal 1 damage to every unit on the board. Bloodsport is a 3 cost that will deal 2 damage to every ground unit. Sorry, Heavy also only hits ground units. So we have a 2-drop, a 4-drop, a kill event, and Desperate Commando. Desperate Commando, when it dies, it gives a unit -1, -1. So it's really nice. So that means it can really take out units that have 4 health. No problem. Let's drop Bloodsport, I guess, and we'll stay with a 2, 3, and a 4 with a 2-cost kill event. So we're all set. Jay's mulliganing, so let's see what he does with that. But yeah, this is definitely one of the best Thrawn additions I've seen in any Star Wars game. Thrawn's easily one of my favorite characters. One of the first Star Wars books I read as a kid. Timothy Zahn, the author, I think is great. I was lucky enough to meet him at one of these Star Wars Unlimited events last year and get him to sign some of the original books. He's written so many for Star Wars, and there are currently 6 that are officially canon. He's been brought in on a lot of stuff as a consultant for obviously shows like Ahsoka and Rebels. Just an amazing character. One of my favorites. I'm really glad he still exists. And again, this really captures the tactical mindset that is Grand Admiral Thrawn. Because it really makes him, you're seeing how he uses other units to his advantage, and I really think that's good rather than just getting knowledge of your opponent. I'm going to pay 2 for Desperate Commando. When it dies, I can give a unit -1/-1 for the phase. All right, he pings us both for 1. I'll take the initiative. He mulligans, so what does he have? He has the 3/1 Mr. Bones. I'll draw 2. Self-destruct and a shoot down. Shoot down's going to be great for that A-wing if it comes out. Let's drop 1 self-destruct. May need 1. All right, now Mr. Bones is annoying. I want to hit him now, but it's so annoying because it means I'm not going to get a lot of value here. But we need to survive. All right, I'll swing into Mr. Bones. Mr. Bones is a lot of people's favorite. He is also in one. He's actually in the Aftermath trilogy that I mentioned earlier, created by who's the pilot in Snap Wexley. Snap Wexley. All right, we don't know what she's doing. I'm going to play the droid missile platform. It's a 4/2 in space. When it dies, deal 3 indirect damage. Now, because Sabine can play a little bit slower, she can really ensure a lot of units sit on the board, like the Insurgent. I'll take the initiative. He can still play a 1-drop if he has one, but he does not. Let's draw 2 cards. The Devastator. That's what I should have taken out. I'm never going to play an 8-cost Devastator. I'm not against Sabine. No way. All right, we got Partisan Insurgent. Sabine comes out this turn. Now, he needs another red unit in play to make the Partisan Insurgent stronger. But we can kill it. And I think that's what we're going to do with our self-destruct here. That may be what I do. So first, I'm going to hit your base for 4. Okay, he pings us both for 1. He goes to 7. I go to 3. I still have the answer here. Oh, you know what? Let's try this. Let's try this. I'm going to pay 2 for Desperate Commando. It's a 2/2. When defeated, give a unit -1/-1. So now if he deploys Sabine, I can, here we go. All right, let's watch. So this is what so I'm going to buy myself some time here. And this is what Sabine makes you do. It forces me to make not maybe the best decisions with my cards, but it's the best decision for the turn. I'm going to pay 2. I'm going to play a card called Self-Destruct. I'm going to pay 2 for a card called Self-Destruct. So I'm going to defeat my unit and deal 4 damage to another unit. So I'm going to do 4 damage to Partisan Insurgent. Then when Desperate Commando dies, I'm going to give Sabine -1, and then I'm going to double the trigger to give Sabine a total of -2 for the turn. All right, so I've slowed down his board, which is good. Now remember what I said, Sabine can still get out 2 units a turn, and he is not exhausted, or he's not exhausted any of his resources. So I'm going to take a little bit of damage this turn, but I'm in a better situation than I was last game. Because last game, he rally cried me. Ooh, aggression defeats my platform, draws a card. Aggression dies, platform dies to deal 3 indirect, how you choose. Do you want to put all 3 on Sabine because she dies because she's -1/-1? Nah, it's power 2. All right, so then she hits me for a total of 1, and I'll take the initiative. All right, that worked out. That's correct. The negative is only till the end of turn. All right, so we drew shoot down Val and Daring Raid. I will drop shoot down, maybe. Hey, hold on to it. Maybe I'll drop Val. I'm gonna drop Val. Definitely gonna have to play the heavy this turn and the Daring Raid just to have a presence on the board and deal with a couple of his units. All right. I'm going to pay 4 for heavy. When heavy dies, I deal 1 damage to each ground unit, enemy ground unit. He also has raid 2 if I get coordinate. For coordinate, I need to have 2 other units in play. 3 total to get the bonus. There's the Y-Wing. Okay. What do I want to do? I can kill the Y-Wing next turn. I have the Daring Raid now. I guess I'll focus. Yep. Yeah, because he's not going to kill it. I'll pay 1 for Daring Raid to do 2 damage to Sabine. Oh, this is tough. Here comes another 3, taking me from 4 to 7. All right, I'm going to take the initiative. Gross. Okay. That was a rough turn for me. That is a lot of damage. I got 2 shoot downs and a self-destruct. We're going to put one of the shoot downs into the resource pile. Self-destruct is helpful. Yeah, self-destruct is helpful. It's going to be slow, but I can do some fun stuff here. So let's go. Got to try hang in here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and attack your partisan insurgent with the heavy. So I'm going to take 1 damage back and kill it. Now I want to see if he rallying cries now or if he goes for the swing to give a bonus to something. All right. Swings on me for 2 more. Gets me to 9. Do I just take care of Sabine now? No, let's wait. I'll pay 2 for shoot down. Let's do 3 damage to your bombers and 2 damage to your base. And the 10. It's me at 15. I'm going to go ahead and deploy Grand Admiral Thrawn. Man. Let's hit your base for 4. All right, this is the hard part. I can take some damage for sure and kill all of his stuff right now. I think that's what I want to do. I don't really want to see a rallying cry, and he's going to go first. So let's prevent... He is going to go first. So if he rallying cries or most, he hits me for 4. So I can go to 19, or can have him waste a card. This is hard. I would rather... Let's wipe the board. I'll pay 2 for self-destruct. I'm going to kill my heavy to deal 4 damage to your droid platform. And then I'm going to double trigger Heavy's ability to do 2 damage to all enemy ground units. I'm gonna put it all on the Grand Admiral. And then I'll pass. I have no cards in hand. All right. Ooh, Onyx Squadron and First Order Stormtrooper. Nothing great. Rather see a Star Destroyer or something a little bigger, or a couple 3-drops would have been cool. So this is where it gets harder. He can still play 2 cards a turn. He's at 5 resources, which means Cassian could come out and hit me for 3. So luckily we have First Order Stormtrooper and the Onyx Squadron Brute. So a couple of threats here. We're going to have to get that 4 damage in pretty quick, though. Tough stuff. But this is what makes Thrawn fun. It's a lot of tactics. It's playing the right card at the right time, trying to figure out what your opponent's going to do. It feels good. Well, pinging us both for 1. 15 and 16. I'm going to swing for 4 on your base to get you to 19. Or, yeah, to 19. All right, 11 for him. 5 resources. Pays 1. There's Mr. Bones again. Pay 2 for the Onyx Squadron Brute. Two tubes comes out. Now, he has not seen any Freedom Fighters, which would be really good for him. I'll pay 1 for a First Order Stormtrooper. Stuff. I'm going to go ahead and take the initiative. All right, so he has a lot of units out there. Can I go faster than him? I drew 2 droid platforms. That's not fast. Would have loved to see something to stop his stuff, because that rallying cry is going to be rough if it goes that direction. Okay, so he's at 19. I have 6, 8 on the board. I cannot kill him, so I got to take out a few things that are giving me some problems. Mr. Bones hits hard. 2 tubes makes things stronger. It's rough. I will swing the First Order Stormtrooper. On attack, he deals 1 indirect damage wherever you choose. And I'll be, my attack is going to 2 tubes. Yep, makes sense. So this dies. I am going to double the trigger. So 2 indirect damage wherever you would like. Well, on your units or base, yeah. 2 more, because I'm going to double it. Correct. Yep. Death trigger and attack. All right, so 2 damage there. Oof. Okay. Right, so aggressions to draw the card. Nice. 2 to base. Yep, 23. 1 remaining. Mr. Bones hits me for 3, take me to 19. It's rough. Pay 3 for a droid missile platform. Now, if he takes the initiative right now, that's still pretty good, but he's probably going to hit me for 2. Yep. All right, that takes me to 21. And I'll go ahead and take the initiative. Another 2 tubes. Where's that Bloodsport? Oh, Bloodsport, yeah, right now, because he only has 2 health. That'd be great. Val, I need something, and a 0M officer. Nothing great. The problem is I wanted to go first. I knew I wanted to go first. I could have played the droid missile platform, but I was really hoping to go first, which means I do not have enough damage to kill him. He needs 7 points of damage. Don't think he's going to kill my own officer. Ugh. I don't have any options here, so he's going to get me. He's going to get me. Maybe he won't pay attention. I'll pay 2 for Val. Rallying cries out. So that's going to make all of his things +2 when they swing. That's really rough. That's fine. I'm going to swing for 4 on your base. Get you to 27. I am dead. Dead. D-E-D. Dead. Yep. All right, 2 tube swings for 4. He gives Ketsu the +2. We're gonna switch this over to a 25. I'll swing for 2 on your base. $29, yep, 1 off. Are you sure you don't want to swing into this? All right. I go to 32. I die. Good job. Good job. Rallying cry will get there. I needed to see this blood sport. That's all I wanted. I wanted to top deck a 2 damage to all ground units that turn. No, I had to hope to top deck something good, and I didn't top deck anything. So I was like, well, I'm dead. But no, that was great. Jay, thanks so much for taking the time to play. That's probably all the time we have. Yeah, that's about all the time we have for that. But thank you so much, Jay. All right. Let's go ahead and move this around. Yeah, so this was a really great deck. There was a lot of fun with it. I really enjoyed playing Thrawn. Again, you can find the link to this deck in the description below. It's really fun. There's still some stuff to work on as far as sideboard. As far as the main, I'm really enjoying the directions it can go. Again, ideally, your 3rd turn when 4 resources, you're going to play Krennic or Val, or sorry, Krennic most of the time in another unit. Really set yourself up for that 4th turn where you can play a Star Destroyer, or sorry, a capital ship turn early. Those capital ships are the Raiders and Chimera. Raiders is good, Chimera is great, depending on what else you have in play, but this allows you to be closer to playing Planetary Bombardment on your 5th turn. So you get to play it a turn earlier than your opponent expects, especially in this color. And if you can do 12 indirect damage, you're doing really well. The deck can play a little bit aggressive, but really it's tempo, and you really have to like decide where you're going to put that pressure. In the aggro decks, it feels like you need to hold back and put that pressure after you dwindle them down to where they're top decking. With other decks, it's all about moving a little bit faster. So swinging into their units when you know you can deal 4 with like a 0/0M officer, making sure you're drawing cards, or just continuing putting the pressure. There's a lot of fun things you can do with this one. This is definitely the deck I'll be working on for a bit, but won't be the deck we'll see in other future playtest. Thanks so much for hanging out. Thanks for chatting and commenting during this stream. It's glad to be back. Be doing a lot of other fun things here soon. But yeah, here we are, set 4, jump to light speed. So let's keep it going with more stuff next week and some other videos I'm still working on. But anyway, thanks so much. Everyone have a great rest of your week. Hopefully the weather's great where you are, and may the force be with you.